Welcome to PhotoPlay's YouTube channel and welcome to Tuesdays with Tina. My name is Tina Smith and today I'm super excited to share with you a wintry card. We're going to be using a die set, a stamp set, and some pattern papers. We're putting it all together and create a nice wintry scene. We're going to be using the set with stamps, Noel, Joy, and Ho Ho Inlay Die set. And then we'll also be using the Joy word stamp set. There's sub-sentiments in here that go perfect with Joy. And since I'm going to be using the Joy for our card today, I thought we'd put them both together. The pattern papers that I'm going to be using are from the Willow Creek Highlands 12 by 12 collection pack. This is the welcome sheet. I love the wood grain in here. And this is the Sunflower Field 12 by 12 sheet. We're going to be using both of these on our cards today, and the reason I mention the names of the sheets are because most of your favorite craft stores have the entire collection pack or the individual sheets. So it makes it very economical. So let's go ahead and trim down some pattern papers, trim down some cardstock so we can do some die cutting, and let's make a card. I trimmed down my pattern papers here to a more manageable size, and then I also have a piece of vellum. We're going to soften our card with a little bit of vellum. I have some teal colored cardstock, some craft colored cardstock, and then some white. We're going to start by taking our die set, and we're going to die cut out the word Joy with the teal cardstock. I love the stitch detail on here. And I'm going to create a snowflake filled background. So there's two snowflakes that you could replace the O with in Joy or Noel or Ho Ho, but I'm going to fill our background with those. So we're going to die cut out both snowflakes multiple times along with this one too. Now I'm also going to bring in my nested A2 Pennant dies, and we are going to create lots of layers here. We're going to take the largest. Let's take this out of the package here. I'm going to take the largest and I'm going to cut out my vellum with this. Okay, and then with the gingham paper, we're going to take the next size down and I'll cut out a banner with the gingham. And then there's also the smallest. I'm going to create a little extra banner, so I'm going to die cut out the smallest banner with the gingham also. Okay, we're going to layer 3 banners together, so I'm going to take the next size down. I'm going to cut out a wood grain panel, and then I'm also going to take the smallest banner die. I'll cut out a small banner with the gingham, with the wood grain, and with the white cardstock. And then our craft here, we're going to put this on top of our A2 size card base, like so. Okay, I have a bit of die cutting to do. I will be right back. Everything is die cut, and I went ahead and adhered my A2 craft card front panel to my card base here. What we're going to start by doing is layering our snowflakes that we cut out around the edges here. For the most part, let me see. There's only going to be some edges that are going to be shown around the craft cardstock. So I'm going to be overhanging all around the edges our snowflakes here. To do that, I'm going to use my tape runner. We're just going to add a little bit of adhesive. And the nice thing about these snowflakes is you can add them to the sides, and to stretch them, I probably didn't even need to bring to cut this many, because you can cut them and just fill in the edges here like so, kind of stretching those snowflakes. We can do that with this one also. And we'll add these ones. These ones here are the inside of these, and we're going to add those also. And we're just going to continue along and fill in all of the edges of our craft cardstock. That worked out great. I have one snowflake left over. Anything that was overhanging, I used my scissors and just trimmed off the edges. Now we have our vellum. and our gingham paper. We're going to layer both of these together just using our tape runner. We're going to evenly space these. And I'll take this banner and I'm going to adhere it directly to the front of my card base. I didn't mention it, but I also created a circle with the same vellum I used for the largest banner, and a smaller 1-inch circle to go behind my O with the gingham cardstock. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take our O and add a little bit of adhesive behind here, and I'm going to tack down that gingham behind the O. I'll flip this around. I'm going to take a foam square and put it behind here. And then we're going to tack this down on our vellum circle. Lots of layers there. Now with these pieces, we used the inside pieces for the edges for our snowflakes, but I thought we would add a little dimension to the O in our joy. So what we're going to do, I'm going to use my glue for this. I'm going to stack 3 of these together, just lining them up. I actually layered 4 together to get, and it feels like chipboard. I love the sturdiness of this. We're going to add more glue around the back. I ended up stacking 4 of them together to create a chipboard look, and now we're going to stack this right in the middle of our O. Now what we're going to do is take these little banners. I'm going to layer all 3 together just with a little bit of adhesive. We're going to stack these. I stacked all 3 of these banners together, and I'm going to use a hole punch. We're going to punch a hole towards the top in the center. And then, that's not very centered, but that's okay. And then I'm going to add an eyelet. Of course, you can just add a hole punch. I just like to add lots of textures to my card. So that's why I add an eyelet, and I have lots of eyelets. So we placed an eyelet on there. I'm going to flip this around, and then I put a piece of foam tape behind here, and I have some natural colored twine. I'm going to double it up. So there is our small banners, and then I went ahead and used some foam and put it behind our wood grain banner, and then I also put foam behind the Y and the joy of our greeting, so we have a little bit of dimension. Before we adhere this, layering all these 3 together, I'm going to bring in more of that twine, and I'm going to wrap it around the upper portion of this banner a couple of times, maybe 3 times. And I'm going to tie a knot in the back to secure it. If you want to use some tape, you could. And then I'm going to adjust this just a little bit. I'm going to use my tape runner, and I'm going to add some adhesive behind this foam. And we're going to tack this down right over the gingham. Okay, and then what we're going to do is take our pennant banners. I put foam tape behind here. I'll remove the release paper off of that foam tape, and I'm going to add this to the side here. And then we're going to add a little bit of adhesive behind our O. This is a nice center point. I'll add glue behind my Y and glue behind my joy, and then we're going to add these to the front and the back. I love the country charm of this. Okay, now we're going to stamp our sub-sentiment. For this card, I'm going to stamp from our home to yours. I'm going to stamp it on some white cardstock, and I'm going to use some black ink. And then I'm going to go ahead and trim this out and put some foam tape behind it. So we have our greeting. I was going to put foam tape behind here and changed my mind. I thought we had a lot of dimension on here. And I'm just going to place this directly in front, in the center of our joy. And I'm just going to use a little bit of glue. And we'll tack this down. Right down the center here. And I love the country flair of my card today. I'm not going to add any shine or sparkle. I just love the rustic look of this with the twine and the wood grain. But I thank you so much for joining me. Have a fabulous day, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.